Hey guys, and welcome to Sunday's panel. Well, I'm going to give a little message right now. So, the reason I've want to make this announcement is because I gotta work today, and I won't be covering the Mandalorian on time. But I'd be happy to cover the Mandalorian after the Clone Wars panel, after a panel of the Clone Wars. Well, even though, like I say, just because I gotta work, that doesn't mean I will not do the pre-show chit-chat. Okay? So, here it goes. The noise, sorry about the background noise of the birds. But although, I will say, of course, is let's talk about Pedro Pascal, shall we? Yeah, I just saw that moment in Game of Thrones where he got his eyes gouged out by the mountain. And even though, thankfully that was an effect. Yep. Yeah, because that would make him the third Game of Thrones actor to have a big role, since Gwyneth Christie as Phasma and Millie Clark as Hera. But I will identify the characters, and I will talk about them after the Clone Wars panel, and then with the release date of the Clone Wars. But I think it would be for launch. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying actually it would be a perfect time for launch. But then again, it might be heading to Christmas 2019, which I will be watching, of course. The Clone Wars every day, all day long for Christmas Day, and I'll have that's where my job has a day off from work, because it's a perfect time of the holiday season. But funny. And yes, and the latest update. Yeah, I apologize if I forgot the name of this DJ. Rex, the DJ, the robot. DJ is voiced by none other than Pee Wee Herman himself, Paul Reubens. But the Clone Wars, I'm looking forward to see Dave Filoni, not once, but after Clone Wars, twice. But this time, the Mandalorian panel, Jon Favreau, and hopefully the cast will be there, not just Pedro Pascal. And and Korg, I'm glad with Korg coming. Alright, that's it for the update and the pre-show chit-chat on May 46th. That I will see you after the Clone Wars panel. Then gonna do recap and watch the replay of the Mandalorian panel, and then sign off after the Mandalorian. and I'll see you guys after work and after the Clone Wars panel. Okay guys, I'm back from work. Let's get this thing started. Well, there's no host for Mandalorian, but there is, of course, Warwick Davis is hosting the Clone Wars panel. But although, let's talk about, we see the trio with Jon Favreau, the creator of The Mandalorian, Dave Filoni, the creator of the Clone Wars, Rebels, and Resistance, also director of The Mandalorian. And Kathleen Kennedy introduced just the two of them, saying Jon Favreau is a huge fan. But she called Dave Filoni a rock star. And the fans, and of course, and then she goes. Then she goes bye-bye. And, of course, we have both Filoni and Favreau met at the ranch. Skywalker Ranch, I think, yeah. And Dave Filoni saw Iron Man. Was the first one to saw Iron Man. And Jon Favreau was the first one to see the Clone Wars. Two became best buds for 12 years. And then, coming out of the panel are Pedro Pascal, Gina Carano, and Carl Weathers. Well, we did have a character name for Pedro Pascal, and his name is just a Mandalorian. You know, like a man with no name with Clint Eastwood, which I'm gonna mention in a little bit. And he said that his character is a combo of a samurai and a western, but a complete badass. His words, not mine. Well, even though, yeah, it's sort of mine. Well, it's still his words. Is that Gina Carano plays Cara Dune, an ex-rebel shock trooper. And what did she say about being part of the Star Wars family? This is kick-ass that she gets to be part of the Star Wars family. And we got Carl Weathers. You may know him from Predator. You may know him from the Rocky franchise. Well, just 1 through 4. You may know him from Happy Gilmore and Little Nicky. He plays Greef Barada, head of the bounty hunters, and ex-Imperial. And although there are not enough, there is some footage, I kind of skipped out on it, and then Horwath says it's beautiful that the fans react. But, and although the worst thing that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni was trying to do, to get stormtroopers, but unfortunately, there wasn't enough. There's not enough stormtroopers? Well, guess what? Plan B. There's always a plan B. They get the actual people who dress as stormtroopers, or should I say the cosplayers. But these are not actors. They are the actual cosplayers. Wow. Somebody give those two a medal for bringing in actual cosplayers in The Mandalorian. It's really true. But yes, I already did say that this will be the same one as Iron Man, The Jungle Book, and the upcoming Lion King movie. The Mandalorian is going to have a new ship named the Racer Crest. And of course, they get the practical effects. As Jon Favreau said, that he gets practical effects from Guillermo del Toro. Not Benedicto del Toro, from The Last Jedi. But the director And yes, that's what his practical effects. And then we got the scene, of course, of how the racer's crest was made. There was a question. And did you and Dave mention, ever had a discussion about Mandalorian history? And the answer was yes. Yes, they did. And the next one is, who he got as a guidance for? And he said Dave Filoni, and also George Lucas, the one who visited. And then when John visited, he teared up. Although they used an actual human, that was just crazy. Whoever were those people are madmen or women, or just, insane instead of dummies. But then Pedro Pascal said the Mandalorian is inspired by Clint Eastwood. Yeah, of course. And then said that TMI, it's going to be, if only don't want to get it into too much information. He said this route's going to be different. And yeah, that's going to be about it for the Mandalorian. Now I'm going to switch over. We're in time that saying you're going to need to, switch it over. And the next time, actually, I'm going to do that right now. Speaking of tearing up, I just saw the Clone Wars, and yet it has the music of The Force Awakens with the flashback. From movie to Lost Missions. And then when it gets to the logo, and yeah, folks, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I really, really teared up on that one because of the music, And Clone Wars Return, yeah, I actually cried. But then I wiped up my tears when someone just said Warwick Davis. But then coming out is, of course, Dave Filoni, the creator of the Clone Wars, D. Bradley Baker, voice of the Clone Troopers, Ashley Eckstein, voice of course, Ahsoka Tano, and Sam Witwer, voice of Darth Maul and former movie trivia Schmodown champion. But although, about the comeback, D. Bradley Baker said he just freaked out. And then, and why are they so close? Ashley Eckstein just said, we are like family. But even though they are like family, they broke the trust tree. And Witwer is trying to get information for the Mandalorian. But although it's going to be a limited run, Dave Filoni said he would do only 12 episodes for this season. Yep, that's what I gotta say. Of course. And there's design for Rex. And the Bad Batch, Unit 99, will be featured in this. And there's a clip reaction. And the Bad Batch, where they get the droids, I was really shocked and amazed. But I didn't see Wolf in there. And then you got the new characters, the twins. And the interesting part is, they're from level 1313. The same level that this video game would have been considered Legends, or would have been canon if they had postponed in 2014, and would have and should have been canceled. And would have been canceled. And the level, or Ahsoka would go down to level 1330, but it did not go well as planned. It did not go well as planned. You gave me chills when, I fear for my life when I saw Ahsoka try to go down to 1313. I was really, really scared. she's going to fall off, just like Boba Fett and the other guy would have been. And, so and if it wasn't canceled, then we got the then we of course go to Sam Witwer with Darth Maul suit. And the interesting part, I forgot to mention that the Ahsoka suit is a new one. It's a jumpsuit. And Darth Maul's suit is the same as Solo. The same film I consider to be damn decent, but this one is of course taken from Solo, a Star Wars story. But the interesting part is Ray Park has returned to do the motion capture of Darth Maul. I am very, very shocked. But then we got a clip where Ahsoka returned, and the clones have saluted her. And she said that she won't, she isn't, part of the, team anymore. But the clones just remembered her for her battles and for her leadership. And then Commander Rex and the Clone Troopers just came in here and with their own symbol. And Rex called her a commander. But she don't want to be called a commander to Captain Rex. They like, that's quite alright, Commander. And that one made Ashley Eckstein cried. Made her cry. But then the rest of the cast returned. Matt Lantern, Catherine Tabor, Tom Kane, Matthew Wood, and James Earl Taylor. And yes, and he did the part, he's like, hello there. And he did say, and it's like one big happy family. And then, Tom Kane, after the session, this is when Tom Kane to say he's thanking Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni thought he asked him a question, but nope, he says representing them, and the fans for chanting "Thank you, Dave," like a WWE when they chant their first name when they retire or leave the company. But Dave doesn't want to be thanked for the fans. No, the person he wants them to thank was George Lucas. Because he's the one that got him that job. But before he became a creator, he was a cosplayer. And you know who he cosplays as? Plo Koon. Before I get to trailer action, right now it's 13 minutes and 13 seconds. So, Star Wars 1313 confirmed. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm just kidding, folks. Alright, now the trailer reaction. With that moment right there, Ahsoka Tano had grew on me on there when she left the Jedi Order. And then she went into level 1313. One I've been dying to see. See how it looks in the Clone Wars. Yes, it is criminal underworld. And then we saw Rex with his haunting nightmares of what he just witnessed. The depths of fives. Echo. And Heavy. He and Cody are the only ones left. Are the only ones left. And then the rest were the clips we just saw. And then we ended with Darth Maul saying, I was looking for Kenobi. Why are you here? Referring to Ahsoka Tano. And they fight, and then it cuts to the logo. That's the good news, and it's red. That is really interesting. But the bad news, there's no release date yet. So, my guess would be 2020. Okay, guys. I got done with that's 3 days down. One more to go. Mandalorian. Clone Wars panels. That's it for now. It's time to close out this episode of Celebration. Okay, guys, that's going to be about it for Sunday's panel. Alright, we're closing in for 2 days. And although I got some bad news, when I'm trying to update my subscription for a course, I thought I was going to get HBO with Sling TV, but unfortunately, it's going to be for DirecTV. Now I'm going to be missing Game of Thrones. And I would have to listen to the recaps. Although, I need to find a way to watch Game of Thrones without, having problems. But although we got one more day to go, and then it's over. And then I would finally take a rest, but nope. But good thing I'll be taking a rest. Because I don't want to recap for Sunday. They place it on Monday because it's the busiest time for me. This is a busy month for me. Alright guys, that's going to be about it. I will see you guys tomorrow for the final day of Celebration.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.